However, I've learned that the authorities are conducting an inquest, which will have a lot more information, and it will hopefully be released later this year. When Caitlin's mom heard what had happened and that she was in the hospital, she got a bad feeling that Caitlin's ex had done something to harm Caitlin. And when her mom arrived at the hospital, Caitlin's ex was there, and her mom confronted him. And she said, "Did you kill my daughter?" And his response was absolutely chilling. He said, "No, I'd never kill her, but I did tell her to kill herself." To the mother of his own children. On March 11th, Caitlin's family had to make the hardest decision they've probably ever had to make and probably ever will. And that was when they decided to turn Caitlin's life support off. After she passed away, Caitlin's ex was named as her next of kin, so he had say over what happened to her body after she died. Her family begged him to release her, but he refused until they met certain demands. And this is another part that I'm a little bit confused about. But again, I'm hoping that the inquest will address this. He released her body. I've heard a couple different things again. One is that he forced Caitlin's family to drop the assault charges that were pending against him. And the second reason was that he was feeling pressured by the story being televised and reported on. Either way, 6.5 weeks after Caitlin passed, she was finally laid to rest. One article that I read said that after Caitlin passed away, the courts independently dropped the charges pending against her ex-boyfriend. The court stated that their reasoning behind this was that there was no longer a person to testify against Caitlin's ex. Now, that might make sense, but Caitlin had made a video statement in the police department that was recorded. Photos of her injuries were taken, medical reports were given, and there was eyewitness statements. Dropping these charges is obviously confusing and doesn't make a lot of sense. After Caitlin's passing, one thing that her family is pushing for is for that law to be changed. They want people who are faced with domestic violence charges to be held accountable even if the victim dies. I think that's fair. In the wake of this tragedy, and this is one thing that Caitlin's family is pushing to change, they want the laws amended. They want the laws amended. They want the laws amended to allow an investigation to take place when it comes to charges of domestic violence, even if the victim passes away. I think the family has a change.org law petition going on, and if they do, I will link it in the description. And like always, with all of the cases that I cover, you can go to the website I set up, and you can find Caitlin's page, her story, and different ways you can support her family. And like always, no matter what tragedies Caitlin faced, we will not remember her for what happened to her. We are gonna remember Caitlin Rose Thornton as a loving, caring, doting mother with a vibrant, bubbly soul who was deeply, deeply loved by her family. Caitlin was a creative artist and a true friend. She would give the shirt off of her back to anybody in need. Caitlin's sons meant the world to Caitlin, and she would do anything for them, obviously, including putting her own life on the line. Some of you guys out there asked me about GoFundMe accounts for the different cases I cover, and I wanted to let you guys know that there are 2 GoFundMe accounts associated with Caitlin's story. The first one is set up by her family, and the other is set up by Caitlin's ex, who at the time of me recording this video, as far as I know, has custody of both of the children. So be mindful and pay attention to the details if you want to donate. As you guys know, a big part of this page for me is to educate people on the 8 stages of domestic violence homicides. And I'm usually able to do that with the information I'm given on different cases. However, I could not find enough information on Caitlin's story to be able to point those out. But like I said, there is an inquest being done. And if you guys are interested, once that inquest is released, I can look through Caitlin's story and pull out the different stages that she was in so that we can actually go through it and recognize the things that she was experiencing. Thank you so much for listening to Caitlin's story. With each of these stories, I hope that you and I can learn how to recognize the signs of escalating danger so that if we're ever in a situation, we can remove ourselves before it becomes fatal. And as always, if you find it in your heart, please light a candle for Caitlin or for anybody else who has lost their lives at the hands of domestic violence. And if you or anyone that you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out. Reach out to somebody in your support system, a local resource, or even a coworker, and let them know what's going on. There's also safety plans on my page. This is not your fault, and there's a lot of awesome, amazing people in the world who are waiting for you to reach out so that they can help you. All right, everyone, you stay safe out there.